Forget the rest.
How y'all feeling that?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.
Hello, hello. We're back. Girl Talk Unfiltered with Crystal,
Rosalind,
Jenny J.
And today we have a special guest, Miss Nicole Scott from Midway International Rodeo.
Midwest.
Oh, gosh. I was trying to make sure I said it right. I was trying to make sure I said it right.
No,
Midway. Midwest.
Midwest Invitational.
Midwest
Invitational.
Rodeo
Rodeo
CEO.
Yeah.
I had everything on here to make sure I had it right and still got it wrong.
It's all right.
So we have to ask you a lot of questions.
Okay.
I think
All right, I'm ready.
I know I have a few.
Okay.
Tell us more about your rodeo first.
So what I do is I have an African-American rodeo
Okay.
that we tour, where we actually go to different states. We actually haven't toured yet. We do Bakersfield, California, and I also do Huntsville, Alabama. So Alabama A&M's campus.
Okay.
We do it there. And then Detroit being my hometown.
Hey.
We did it here. Yeah.
We didn't know
we did
that.
Here. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I told her, I was like, we have tons of questions.
Right.
Yes.
So my first question is, who decided to put?
I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Before you ask this question, when we talked about you yesterday, and I was letting the ladies know that we were going to talk to you.
Uh-huh.
And when I first said rodeo, it's funny because us being black,
Yes.
Right.
when you first hear the word rodeo,
You're like, what the
like
hell?
I just
Yes.
wanted them to take their reaction because we were like,
What the hell?
Huh.
Right. Yeah.
like I'm not sure what to say. Like, what do we ask? Like, because that's something that's so foreign to so many of us.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be.
Like
It-
black
it
people
really-
do rodeo. Like that's what I was saying. Like,
But you know what the funny thing about that is? We were the first cowboy.
Yeah.
So they used to call us, you know, they used to refer to us as boy.
Yes.
And so when we were in the arenas or not actually in the field,
Okay.
so that's how we got the name cowboy. And then in the South, my daughter actually lives in, my middle child lives in Tulsa.
Okay.
And that's like them going to a basketball game or a football game or whatever.
Really?
It's something that they do just about every weekend.
oh wow.
Yeah. So it's, and so my family, I am originally from here.
Okay.
And had the opportunity to relocate to Denver. And I met some family members there. And, you know, I was just like, when I first went to Denver, I was like, I don't want to go to Denver. What's in Denver? And we ended up being blessed enough to go to Denver and met some family members. And I went to my first African-American rodeo.
Okay.
So to see people that look like us doing things and everywhere, and you can relate to them. And I don't know about where you all went to school or your background, but when I was in school, Black History Month was Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, and then
Yep.
slavery.
Yes.
And see, I grew
Frederick
up.
Douglass, and that was it.
Yeah, and then I grew up where when Roots came out.
Okay.
And so with me being myself and maybe four of my cousins, when we were in school or elementary school, you know, we were called kizzy because we wore braids or whatever. But now we're proud.
Right.
You know, now we
Yes.
can be proud. And I think that one of the reasons why I do the rodeo is because being a mother, you know, and we've traveled and we've lived in different areas. And there's not a lot of people that look like you. And you want your kids to be proud of who they are. You know, you want, like in my house, I didn't have the Mona Lisa. You know, we didn't have Vogue, we had Essence, we had,
Right.
you know, we didn't have Glamour, we had Ebony, we had different things so our kids can relate
Right.
or see something or be proud. Because my kids were probably the very few African Americans, or you know, they were told that when we moved back this way, they went to Walled Lake schools.
Oh yeah.
And so they told them that you talk white, or they teased my one daughter, my middle child, who rodeos, or who rides a horse or whatever. But there's so many scholarships out there for us. There's so many things that we can do. We can be veterinarians. We can be, you know, we can be professional cowgirls, some cowboys.
Yeah.
We just don't make the money that is there to be made in the white rodeo, like my rodeo. You know, people are excited and they're coming from all over, but they're only going to win $3,000 or $4,000.
Okay.
What do they win in the white?
My brother is.
They can win $100,000 in one
you
event.
serious?
Oh, easy.
Wow.
Oh, easy. They win cars. They win. I mean, I'm sorry, not cars. They win pickup trucks.
Okay.
So
Right.
you know, they can win so much, and I guess that's a goal of mine.
Wow.
I would like to put together eventually, you know, an African American rodeo where we can win. You know, maybe not $100,000 a purse, but we can win at least $50,000 or $25,000 because it's a dying breed.
Yeah.
You know, they're because, let's say 20 years ago or 25 years ago, people were professional cowboys and they could make a living doing that. Well, now you can't really make a living doing that because you still have to get your sponsors and things cost. You know, like diesel fuel, you have to travel, you know, with your. So my cowboys come from all over, cowboys and cowgirls. There's only first, second, third, and fourth place.
Okay.
So there's 15, 16 people in an event. So some of those people are going to pay all this money to come over here and drive hotels, all that kind of stuff, and go home with nothing. You know, so we have to cheer them. We have to make sure that they're excited. And at my rodeo, I make sure that they have a good time.
Okay.
You know, we take them out, we hang out. We will probably go down to Burt's on Thursday night and hang out and, you know, just show them the city because they are coming from all over. And they've never been to the city, so they're excited about it. And those who came the year before last, because we didn't do it last year, they're still talking about it. Because, you know, we know how to have a good time.
Yes.
Detroit, you know, that Detroit versus everybody is true. We don't care once you start, and then my cousins have lost their mind. I have one cousin that has like 20 pairs of boots. He rides a motorcycle, but he did the rodeo one time, and now he's just, I have one cousin that, Then I have another cousin that has a back number or wants a back number.
Okay.
But he'll have the gear on, and so you all will not realize that he is not a cowboy and has never ridden a horse. But he'll have, you know, and that's part of the fun.
Right.
You know, we get into stuff like the rodeo. We tailgate. I have people that actually live in the city, but because it's in Belleville, and they know they're going to have a good time, and they know they're going to party, and they know they're going to do whatever they're going to do, they're going to stay the night. And so we're going to have a campfire, and then we're going to stay the night. And then we're just going to stay and just kick it and, you know, maybe, you know, like we do, have a fish fry and just sit and just, you know, talk trash.
Right.
So, yeah, that's I guess, I don't know that I really answered your questions, but
Yeah.
how did I get into it?
I believe
so.
you answered a lot of mine, but
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know that rodeos were that lucrative, that they made that type of money.
The white rodeo.
Yeah, so my rodeo is really not that, it's not that lucrative
But it
yet.
can get there.
We're working on it. We are working on it.
It's going to get there.
Yeah, it's going to get there. I've been so blessed. I've been, you know, if it wasn't for my family, because, you know, last year we weren't able to do it. But you still put out your money to, you know, do handbills, and you still are putting out your money for your, you know, your fees and to you know, reserve places and do things to get you prepared for it. You know, the handbills, it doesn't, you know, this year it's the 11th and 12th. Last year it was the 12th and 13th. I can't reuse the same thing. So the 5,000 that I bought, you know, will be kindling, but we don't know. So it's different, and I hope to soon break even or at least make some money off of it. And you know, I've been helped, and a lot of people have helped me. You know, churches and stuff like that are coming because they want you want your people to see this. You know, maybe we might have a little bit more pride if we knew where we really came from.
Exactly.
Or we knew that we were soldiers way back when and we've been doing this for a minute.
Right.
Or that Michigan State, you don't have to go for basketball or football or whatever. They have rodeo scholarships.
Oh,
They have
wow.
veterinarian scholarships. They have a rodeo team.
Wow.
So I have Michigan State 4-H the reason why I was rushing here is because I just left the arena with Michigan State 4-H, and we're setting something up, and we want to expose. Supposedly, they have a 4-H team here in the city,
Okay.
but I don't know anything about it. I don't know if you
Wow.
seen anything about
They
it, but
probably
Never heard of
do.
it.
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if they
Yeah.
did.
yeah,
Me either.
they do.
Yeah.
And so they want more of us to be a part of it. They want more of us to see things. You know, they want us to realize.
Yeah.
You know, just think if you had, I don't know if you have children or not, or if you all have any kids, but let's say
got
that
all
they
the
can't
kids.
play basketball. Let's say they don't have a jumper. Let's say they might like a horse, or they might want, you know, they might have a gecko or something that they want to do. It's okay. It's okay to be a farmer, because how do we, one of my contestants, and it's, nobody knows, but his father owns 80 acres. It's a watermelon patch in California.
Ooh.
So they make tons of money, but you wouldn't know, because the gardens that we see, which we really don't see gardens, but the gardens that we see could grow, and they can actually feed us. It could feed a family, it could feed
Yes.
2 or 3 families, or it can actually be a business. You know, it can truly be your livelihood,
Right.
which we don't know because we're not exposed to it. So the rodeo that I do is more about exposure. I want you to say you can, or to dream it. If it's something that you think you want to do, you know, let's try it. Let's see what we can do. You know, I have bees and D's that are coming. So we're going to see a real beehive that's going to be enclosed, encased in glass. So we run from bees. but we still need them and we kill them when when they get the opportunity. But if you use the honey from your neighborhood, your allergies are better. You don't have the same allergies or the sinuses and the sinus problems or the irritation. It's so many wonderful things that can happen from just honey, and just that comes from a bee. Or we're going to use beeswax instead of using chapsticks all the time. We're going to use beeswax, lip chap, or whatever. I don't want to say chapstick because that's not what it's called, but it is like a chapstick.
Right.
So there's so many other things that are coming in, and we have Warren Evans as our Grand Marshal, he's been amazing. He's been so wonderful, just helping out. He's a equestrian. He owns rein horses, I believe it is, and he has been a rider. So he's excited that little brown brothers and sisters are going to be able to see and not be afraid, and hear. And then I also have the Mounted Police Department, Wayne County Sheriffs, and hopefully Detroit comes through. And so you will see them walking through, and you won't be so afraid when you see a horse or run, or you might have the next
Cause I had
bull
a bad
rider.
experience with a horse.
Really?
Yes. So I was
Well,
like, I don't know. It was at camp, so I don't know if she was tired of the kids,
And she could be. Go ahead.
and she was like agitated, so she wasn't following my lead, and she like kind of bucked, and I was like, okay. So then she did it to another kid later, and they put her up. So, but she made me nervous after that. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah. But then also too, that one horse was probably riding 15 kids, 20 kids.
Now that
So
I'm
the horse
older,
is tired.
now that I'm older, I'm like, she was probably tired.
She's probably
like,
tired.
I'm tired of you kids.
Yeah.
Right.
And she probably was old.
Yeah.
She's probably seen better days
Yeah.
and wanted to do more, or just wanted, like you said, tired. So this way, now you've had a bad experience, and I just had a conversation with a gentleman from 4-H who wants to bring. So, ladies, people when they look like us, or when it's a female in the male predominant business, people try to pull the okie dokie on you.
Okay.
So this gentleman that really has nothing to do with my rodeo wants to bring a horse and wants it to just walk around the grounds. And so I had to be careful what I say and how I say it, and be political. Not say the words that I really want to say, and just tell them,
Right.
really,
Like,
and then you just have to, it's not even a conversation. You just learn to just walk away and just shake your head and just like, okay, bless your heart.
Right.
Because it's not going to happen. Because look at, if something would have happened with that horse,
You're gonna be
You're
that
responsible.
you,
Yeah,
I'm responsible. It's my name.
Yeah.
And I probably shouldn't have said this, but I did. And I told him, last time I checked, I signed the front of the check.
Hey.
And we have to remember that, because a lot of times we sign the front of the check, and then somebody that's signing the back of the check is trying to tell us
what to do.
Yeah.
But it's our name on there. It's our license. It's our insurance. It's all our hard work that can be by somebody just kind of, thinking that they know. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, not today.
Right.
Maybe at 20, 30, but not once you get a little gray hair, it ain't happening. Excuse me, that shit ain't happening.
Right.
So I have to ask, how old were you the first time you actually rode a horse?
So I was actually in summer camp.
Like me.
Yeah, back in the day, I was the goofy kid that went to CYO camp up in Port Huron, and then kind of rode the horse, and it was cool because it was later we were hanging out, and I was one of those goofy kids, whatever. And then another time I rode it, I didn't have the strength or the courage, and the horse can feel that you're fearful, and then they go where they want to go, and so I ended up waist deep in water because he went for a swim because he was hot.
Right.
And then I was just like, oh, and then, crying. But, I'll tell you a secret. I really don't ride. It's when you see these ladies, when you come to the rodeo and you see these ladies, they ride. They ride. They ride. They shoe horses. You just bow down and just say, hey, because I really don't ride compared to them.
Okay.
These chicks are no joke.
Okay. Before I ask a question, because I do have a question. Anybody else have a question?
Okay. I'm excited. I'm just right. Yeah, I'm bringing my kids. I'm
You
bringing
should.
my two
You
oldest.
should.
I want them
Just
to
to
see.
let them experience. A lot of times kids don't even know what a horse sounds like. And they have a horse. Or I'm hoping to have. I talked to 4-H and Farm Bureau, and they're going to bring out. It's a cow, like a mechanical cow that is going to show us how to actually milk a cow.
Okay.
So when I brought my arena director up here, he's from Oklahoma City. And he was like, okay, Nikki, where do y'all go to get your food? And I was like, well, there's the grocery store. But we were actually in the city. It's like, no. Where do you get your fresh vegetables? Where do you go to the market? Where do you just? And it's not even right. It's not even really in the city. And you just like, yeah. So that's one of the things that we're also trying to do too. We actually are trying to get urban farmers or talk to urban farmers and have them come out and set up. Like I said, B's and the D's. 4-H Farm Bureau. We've even reached out to. I really want it to be a fair, it's like an education. I want it to be kind of like a subliminal message. So hopefully we'll be able to give the COVID test, the COVID shot. So that's what we're looking for. We're trying to find out if it's going to be enough shots out there for us to do it, or if they have enough to be able to do it out there. Right. And then just to know, like to have the Kidney Foundation there, or to have someone checking your blood pressure, or to have somebody, where you can give blood or something like that. We need to stop being afraid of doctors. We need to stop being afraid of things, just go out there and try it. But what we have going on, we're not always able to try things.
We'd be scared sometimes.
We'd be scared, or somebody told us a story, or, you could have told your story about the horse too, and you could have scared somebody else, or you could have stopped, your friends or children or nieces or nephews or whatever.
But I tell them to do it. I was like, just me. Yeah. When I was younger, it really spoke to me. Yeah. But you're right, because you made me think about this young lady. She was like 23, and the mounted police were riding down the street in the city, and he rolled by, and she was like freaking out. She's like, I've never seen a horse in person. And we were like, looking at all of us like, what? You never been to the zoo or a farm? Like,
there's no horses at the zoo.
You're right. At the pet, because they had a petting part. It is no horses at the petting part. It's just the cows and the goats. So she was like, she started crying. She was so excited. She ran out there, asked if she could pet it. And I was like, we were like dumbfounded, like, girl.
You're not
but
that
it ain't that deep, right?
Right, but that show, a lot of kids that's in the city that don't have access, they may never see a horse up front and farm animals.
So that's one of the things where we actually have people coming out earlier. So I was excited to get Upper Bound that they're coming out, and they're going to come. The rodeo actually starts at 7:00. So we are not on CP time or whatever. The show starts at 7. Okay. 7:05, you see me marching around. We starting at 7. Okay, sorry,
like
y'all. You'll see maybe 7:10 if you can pull one over, but we starting at 7.
Okay.
But anyway, it is allow people to come out to see, to get the feel of it. To, like I said, I have I don't know that I said this, but we have about 20-25 vendors that are coming out. So we have corn on the cob, we have hot dogs, we have hamburgers, we have lamb chops, we have funnel cakes. We have people that are doing a ton of different things, and it's all about exposure. It really is all about exposure. I took one of my daughter's friends. She went with me to the. So if you're a friend of mine or related to me, if you come to the rodeo, you're going to work. We're working. You're gonna do something. You gotta work.
You're gonna have us throwing hay bales.
Sure. Right. So her name is Sydney, and she's my goddaughter. So she came with us to California. She was all excited about going to Cali and everything, and we took her to the ocean, and we fed her, and we took her, downtown and everything. Now it's time to work, and she was just like, and we never knew that she had never heard a horse neigh. She had been with my daughter, for a while, and prior to that, she would go to my daughter when my daughter had riding lessons, because that we have a full facility at Rouge Park. The Buffalo Soldiers are there at Rouge Park, and there's a riding facility, and they can teach. You can,
I did not know that.
Yeah, and Rouge Park.
That's
we just go sit out there picnic and drink and party.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy how you live somewhere
and you don't know.
Have no idea what's going on.
Exactly.
I had no idea about that.
Exactly. And you just, a lot of it is just talking to people. Yeah. Just talking or sitting and listening or just experiencing different things. And it's all about, truly about exposure and trying to see what's really going on.
Right.
Yeah. So, get a chance to go to Rouge Park, the Buffalo Soldiers. Okay. And they, I think it's like $5 if you want to learn to ride, or if you want to ride and they lead you around. Or really you can just go and just take some carrots or some apples and you can just feed the horses.
That's fun. We have to take the kids.
Yeah.
My daughter loved it.
Just to see them, just to really see it.
They're beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes. They are.
I want to ride one myself.
But they're so huge, they're so huge and massive. So when you see something like you said, your friend, it can be intimidating. And then when the person is up there and they're sitting straight up, that makes them even taller. And they're looking down on you, and it's not.
Yeah.
It can be a bit much.
I hate to ask this question, but is there like a weight limit for horses?
No, it isn't. It is not. It is not. It is not. Well,
I always think that
we
too,
wouldn't
though,
put some. We wouldn't put somebody on a horse that, because some of them are cowboys. They're huge. They're huge. Like one of the cowboys is 6'9", has a size 15 shoe. Danielle Henderson. He played basketball. Went to play basketball overseas, but he also is a professional cowboy, and I'm sure he's close to 300 pounds. He's 2-something. He's really on that side, and he rides. You just have to get the right horse. Okay. You know, I can't put someone like that on a pony. It has to be a real, it has to be a real horse. Yeah, we're not gonna stunt the horse. We're gonna grow. Yeah.
I learned so much.
Right, she been asking a lot of more questions.
You guys got to come out now. I do have to share this with you. I need the ladies to come out because these cowboys, they're coming in from everywhere, and they truly are gentlemen. They really are kind. They have not been out and about, and they're just so hospitable. And and it's. I probably will have, I'm thinking, 75 to 80 just contestants that'll be around there in their jeans, in their jeans, just hanging out. Yeah, just
you hear that, Chris?
Just hanging out.
I got 2 single ladies.
Okay.
It's funny because
They better get
if you would have asked me this last week about going to a rodeo, I would have looked at you like,
really, right?
Probably not. But it's like now I want to take my daughter
Because it's a black
and I wanna
rodeo.
go.
That's the difference for us.
Right.
For me, at least.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go to no regular rodeo.
We do.
But being a black rodeo, different type of.
And the difference between a black rodeo and just a regular rodeo, and the rodeos are still all the same, but you know what? The music is going to be like you. There's going to be something that you're going to hear. You're going to have something that you like. Exactly. It really.
Yeah.
So if you look at the flyer that I gave you, it's so Friday is kind of like the family night, which is, a lot of the schools and a lot of the churches and all that stuff is coming. But then on Saturday, we have the motorcycle clubs. All the local motorcycle clubs are actually riding in. They're doing this ride from the city, and then they're going to open up the event. And so my vendors that are coming, and we're still looking for vendors, but the vendors that are coming, they'll be able to vend from like 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 10 o'clock at night. Okay. And not everybody's going to be able to get into the rodeo.
Okay.
So after we meet our capacity, because of COVID, we definitely are going to be on this capacity. Okay. I still want everybody in this midway area. So we'll still have the DJ going. We'll still have things happening. We'll still have all these vendors that are there to vend, and you can still like eat. Remember how I don't know if you guys remember the state fair.
Yeah.
You used to just hang out there and just walk around. I really would like for it to be that. My team and I, or the group that we're doing. That's what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Just where you guys can fellowship and just see people that you haven't seen, and talk to folks and just say hello.
Okay. Yeah. I wish the state fair was still open. It could have been there. Right,
it would have been there. It really actually. My family used to. It's part of the Bill Pickett Rodeo. I was blessed enough to be adopted into this family, and they did it the last time we were here, it was 24 years ago, and it was at the State Fairgrounds. Okay. And it's an amazing place to do, but it's there, but it's not there. The Coliseum is still there, the arena's still there, but then you can't really do anything there. And then as much as I try, people have called me and said, you need to do something in the city. Why are you doing something in Belleville? Well,
there's nowhere to do it.
Yeah.
Where?
Well, then they give me suggestions. They tell me, well, why don't you go to Rouge Park, or why don't you go to someone said Detroit Airport, but then they don't understand that to put something on the runway, you got to bring your own dirt. Dirt is not cheap. Right. It's not the same dirt that. I know if you've gone to Menards or gone to Lowe's or whatever to get dirt. Yeah. Just think I need tons of that dirt, and not only do I put the dirt down, I got to clean it up. So that's like $40,000-$50,000. Oh wow! Just for dirt, because you got to put it down, you got to take it back up.
Wow. Okay.
Right, and then I got to bring bleachers. Yeah. Right, and then you got to have electricity, because I have to have the electricity for the announcers. Right. And then lights, right, because if it gets dark.
Oh wow.
Then I also have to have bathrooms. But this place here in Belleville, and I would love to do something in the city or somewhere near the city. And then I don't know who your listeners are, but I'm not taking y'all to Nova. I'm not. It's bad enough that I'm going to Belleville, but at least Belleville has an arena and they're helping me out a little bit. But I'm not taking you to, you're not going to go to Oakland County. At least you'll stay in Wayne County.
Yeah. Right. Oakland County, they're going to try to take us somewhere else.
The only other place that's really close to us is Hazel Park Racetrack.
You know what? But to do it at the racetrack, I would have to find out because you really have to dig up. So the racetrack is you're going around.
Right.
You're going around.
Right.
I need something where we can be in the middle.
Yeah.
So I would still have to turn that and flip it and get the dirt ready and prepare it.
And then you got to flip it back.
And then you got to flip it back. Yeah.
Who knew? That's a lot of work.
It is.
That's a lot.
And the cost. It wouldn't be cost effective to
It
do
isn't.
it in
It
all
isn't.
these
And so my
places.
ticket is a little bit more. My ticket is $20 in advance and then $25 a day of the show. And all of that money goes back into the show, you know, because I still do prize money. You know, these people are coming. They don't do it for trophies.
Yeah.
They want prize money.
Yeah, they want
So that's what we do. We do prize money and make sure that everybody is taken care of and things are taken care of and you still have your expenses of your staff and your stock contractor and all that kind of stuff.
No.
So we make it just a little bit more than a movie ticket.
Okay. Now my question is, now how do they actually win the rodeo? Now I know they're on their horses, but how do you
So they
dictate who win?
So they each have an event. So
Okay.
if you look at your flyer, there's different events. So the event, the steer wrestling, or the calf roping, or the relay races, or the bull riding. Each one of those, we put up a purse, which is $1. Let's say $1,000, which is mine is a couple thousand dollars, and then they actually all pay entry fees. And so each one of us, let's say we put in $100, so that goes into the pot too. So not only is the money that I put up, it's also the money that you all put up too.
Okay.
And then we pay 100%. So sometimes people or promoters will take a percentage off. Well, they come too far for me to do that. I got to hustle and do something. I got to sell tickets, or I got to get sponsors, or I got to do something because I don't really think that that's fair. So they put the money in the pot, and then the first four win. The best four win. And then the other ones, we just say thank you for coming and give them, we clap for them, whatever.
Hey, it's an experience though.
It is, it is, and they love the adrenaline. I mean, they're adrenaline junkies, and they love the challenge and the crowd cheering for them and stuff like that. They enjoy that. Yeah, the exposure.
What's the youngest cowboy or cowgirl you have that's in the event?
So we do something we call junior breakaways,
Okay.
and we also have junior barrel racers. So I've had people in, let's say Junebug. He actually has been competing since he was 4.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's 12 now, so he has 2 more years, and I think he has to compete with the big fields.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
At 14, he has to
14,
go to
15,
the
yeah,
adults?
he has to do that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But he's good. He's
Okay.
really good. So
Okay.
it gets you though. You know, we push different. Our community, we push different. You know,
Yes.
when you're playing basketball with your brother, your sister, or your
Yes.
uncles or whatever,
Yeah.
they don't take it easy on you.
They don't.
You know, they're like, listen,
Right.
they gonna bow you, they gonna give it to you, they gonna trip you, they gonna win.
They
You
are.
know,
Yeah.
but it pushes you to win as well. You know, we
Yeah.
teach a little bit different. You know, we push people in the water and teach them how to swim instead of put them in swim lessons. Okay, this is week 1. You're gonna learn how to dip your nose. Week 2, you're gonna learn something different. No, we just push
Push
our
you
kid.
in and
All right,
survive
swim.
or drown.
Yeah, swim. And you like right there. Yeah, so it's a little bit like that too.
Okay, I have a question. I'm just looking at some of these. What is ladies barrel racing? What is
So
that?
really, what it is it's almost like a setup, and like this. I don't know if I can explain, but they come out the chute, and then they go around. They do almost like a clover leaf, and then they come back and they do it for time. So they run out they're like in this horse, and they're going 35, 40 miles an hour, and then they slow it down to go around this, and they can't knock this barrel over because then that takes seconds off of their time. And then they go around here, and then they go back up, and then they come, and then when they get here, then they just gun it all the way through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before.
Yeah. Because
Randomly watching it on TV.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know
Like
we've
it was
seen
nothing
but
on.
it's been so
Right.
long. But you know how sometimes when you see something different that you're not used to or really you're not exposed to, sometimes you'll kind of look at it just to kind of just see how it is for a minute.
And also, too, you probably saw it and didn't see anybody that looked like you.
Yeah.
You know, you probably saw a lot of blonde hair and a lot of,
Always.
other stuff that was happening that you just couldn't relate to. But then when you see this, you start cheering and laughing and joking and just screaming and hollering at them and cheering for them. And then some people do cheer for the animals because the animals, especially, when they're steer wrestling, they're taking that animal and they're kind of chasing it. And then they jump off of their horse onto the back of this animal, the steer, and then they grab the horns and they kind of flip him a little bit and turn him on his back. And then once he's up, and then they wrap his feet, and then they're done. And then you're cheering for the animal because you want the animal to get away.
Right. I was going to say, is that hurting the animal?
Not at all.
I'm worried about them getting hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
it's kind of it's definitely different. I was looking at it earlier on my phone.
Oh, good.
Because I wanted to know, what it was and how they did it. And I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, like I would be scared to even do it because I don't see that working out too well for me.
Okay.
So I'm like, it takes a lot to do that.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
And your timing has to be on
gosh.
too. Your
Yes.
timing really has to be on.
Yes.
Because you are jumping from a moving animal on top of another moving
Yes.
animal.
And then you're going to flip it.
And what if you miss? That ground just
Yeah.
Jesus.
hurt. Yeah.
It's
Now-
something to see.
It is. It is. Now I can't honestly tell you that if I break a nail, it's gonna be some issues. So I don't do any of those events.
Right.
I don't do any of that at all.
Okay. I'm like the cousin. Like, I like to do the dress. I want the cowgirl hat and all the skirt. Like, I'm not, where can
And
I
you
go get
won't
that
be.
stuff?
You will be surprised. There
I
will
would
be
never.
so many people that do that. Yeah.
I
So-
will be one of them.
Yeah. So I have a couple people that do that. We actually have Scott Colburn. Scott Colburn is a rodeo store that's on 8 Mile and Farmington Road.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been there for like 20, 30 years, and none of y'all know
I
anything
don't know
about it.
my city.
They pay no
Yeah.
attention to it.
Or I think there's a shop on 8 Mile that sells boots. That's right, like a little bit past or a little bit before Beach. And then, there's a couple people that are on Facebook that sells, that you might catch some boots or something like that, or it depends on how
Yeah.
fancy you want
I
to
got me
get.
some cowboy boots. My daddy bought me some in Texas.
There you go.
All right.
Texas, you probably paid next to nothing. Up
Oh,
here,
you gonna
because
pay
they're
a lot of
everywhere.
money.
He paid. This was years ago. He paid to me a lot, but yeah.
And then
I
they
got
get
some.
comfortable, and then and it's funny because so many people here in Detroit have cowboy boots, and you're like,
Right.
okay, why? Why do they have them? You don't even know.
I haven't worn mine in years.
Because they
Exactly.
cute.
They are
Yeah,
cute.
they are
They
cute.
cute.
And
Some
mine
of
cute.
them
They're
are. I
like
just like
mine like a maroon magenta color. He got me a nice burgundy. I was like, yeah.
And you're gonna see girls out there too that you're gonna look and put your head down because they're gonna have on the cowboy boots and the Daisy Dukes, and they don't look
Yeah.
nothing like Daisy.
Daisy.
They shouldn't have them on.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Lord.
Well, yeah.
Like, it can't help how we built.
Yeah, exactly. But you probably shouldn't. Yeah.
We're them.
It's okay though. We enjoy you.
Right.
We love it.
Right.
Welcome.
Okay.
But like I said, we've been very blessed. There were nights that I did cry, and I do get sick. Because you're like stressing because you have this, this almost a bounty on your head that you got to make sure that's happening because you have all these people that are coming and depending on you.
Right.
So you got to just make it happen. You start working on it. Like this rodeo, I will probably. It's the 10th and 11th. I'll probably sleep Sunday, maybe Monday.
Okay.
Tuesday, we back on it.
Okay.
Getting back ready for the next year. We booked, we signed contracts, we're ready for the next year.
Oh,
Looking for people to go,
Right.
Okay.
That's
That
awesome.
takes a lot of work.
Yeah. So you guys, please come out. Please invite your friends. Put
Definitely.
it on
I'm
Facebook,
telling everybody.
social media.
Yes.
Help me out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's funny because it's the Chitlin Circuit that actually did it. Last year, my cousins, they sold 750 tickets, just them, by themselves. I went to them and I was like, y'all, I don't think I could do this. I don't think, and they're just like, whatever, we doing this.
Right.
And they came through. I had an aunt that we had some kids from Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti. They bought tickets, but they needed to get a meal. And she was just like, you know what, girl? And she was like, how much is it going to cost you? And I was just like, I don't know. She says, $200 enough? I was like, I'm going to make it happen.
Right.
So we fed these kids. They were blessed enough to get tickets from somebody else. And then, local church groups come and they bring their members. And then the senior citizens, they come together and they just, honey, sit. They'll tell you in a minute, sit down. Because you're standing up, you get so excited. Don't get behind any of those ladies because they'll tell you. They really do.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I think the more people hear about it, the more exposure you get, the more people would definitely come out because even with us three, that's something we would have never even considered or really fathomed like a week ago. And now we're all like, oh, this sounds fun. This sounds interesting. Like we want to definitely check it out and we want to see it. But I think it makes it even better because it is Black owned. So it makes us
Right. I
definitely
definitely want to
want
support.
to support. Yeah.
Thank you so
Because
much.
we always want to support Black owned, and especially
So you know what? You want to support Black owned, but I also want you to support Black owned of something of quality.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to come to
Definitely.
me because we're going to start late or because, it's not going to be a show. This is truly a performance.
Yes.
We will stand up. You will get there. Like I said, we start on time. We do the national anthem, and we also do the Negro national anthem.
Okay.
And you'd be surprised, not a lot of people know it, but the older people, they stand up and they put their chest out and they looking at their kids and looking at their their children because the grandkids don't know it.
Yeah.
And so we sing it and we sing it in respect. And then we also do reenactment. So you'll see, Bass Reeves, or you'll see them, we'll tell a story about them. And then, we do things that help you kind of educate where you'll know. Like the first year that I did it, 2 years ago, nobody knew about Juneteenth. I didn't know what Juneteenth was. And it was funny because I went to Denver, which is an all-white area, and they celebrate Juneteenth. But it was great to see 2 days after my event, people were saying Happy Juneteenth. And that was because they were at the rodeo and they found out what Juneteenth is and what we should expect and, what really happened. And we didn't know that we were free until Juneteenth.
Yep.
So that's what we should be celebrating, but, we can still celebrate them both.
Right.
So, things like that. That'll be things that we do. And just coming out and just supporting each other. And then, hopefully this will happen and people will latch on. And I'm looking to go into a couple different markets.
Okay.
And hope it'll grow. And then soon you guys will be coming to a national final. We'll really kick up. We'll really turn up.
It's coming.
Yeah.
And we because I think about the Universal Soul Circus and how much we patronize that.
You know what? Yeah. And so the funny thing about that is that my uncle that owns the Bill Pickett Rodeo actually helped start that Universal Soul Circus. And so a couple of times I'll go, and not that you never want to say anything bad about another performance or another act or whatever, but my show is different every time you see it because the same people are not going to win because it's a timed event, and it's going to be new faces, new things happening. It is definitely, we're not going to be here for 2 weeks like they do. We're only here for 2 days, in and out, and so Universal Soul Circus is great because you do get to see things and you get to see things that people are preparing as a performer, but then you're like, wait a minute, I can do that. I can kind of do that, but it's more about the camaraderie and the the fellowship that's in that show because you really don't see a whole lot of animals.
No, you don't.
You don't see lions, tigers, or bears, or if you do, it's maybe one or two. You see poodles. You see different things. You see dancers. You see dancers. You don't see you may see a trapeze act, but you also see somebody dancing on a pole. You're like, okay, she's on a pole, kind of a thing. Yeah, you're like, what the hell? So, just things like that. So this is, we need to get more things like this going on. We don't have. Remember, there was a time that we used to have the music hall used to have theater, and we would take our kids, or we would get dressed up and go to the music hall to see like plays like Crack Stepping and things like that, or when Tyler Perry first came out. These are the things that we need to do to continue with our culture, and allow kids to sing or to perform or to do something that may not be the norm, because being a doctor and a lawyer is not for everybody.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely.
College
There's
is
also
not for everybody.
college may not be for everybody.
It's not.
But there's trades,
Yeah.
or if you do go to college, you don't have to go to college to be a CPA. You can go to college to be a veterinarian, or you can go to college to be an official, or you can go to college to do so many other things where you don't. It's just not. It's just it's not a cookie cutter anymore. It's we can do it too. You can do it. Your kids can do it. Everybody can do it. Just give yourself the opportunity or exposure.
Right.
So that's why I'm glad that 4-H is coming out. Different things. They're going to show you some stuff that you never have seen before, or just to maybe wet your whistle a little bit.
Right.
You may want to be a farmer, professional farmer.
Right.
Because now you see people that look like us that own vineyards.
Right.
And you're like, you own a vineyard?
Right.
We can go see some people that look like us that, have a wine. Snoop got a wine.
Yeah.
Snoop is a rapper.
Yeah.
You now own wine, kind of a thing. You never thought that. You would see that like Paul Newman, who had the salad dressing. Now we can do stuff like that.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's what's so amazing.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys will make it out and tell a few people.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah,
I know
thank you so
I am.
much.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank
We
you. I
bringing the
appreciate
crew.
it.
Yeah.
Please
And she
bring the
got a
crew.
crew.
We bringing the
She
crew.
got a crew.
We really do. We usually go like, what is it? Usually 20 of us.
I was about to say, right.
That's
to a
immediate
restaurant.
family. That's
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? They
Right.
can run free. They could just run out and do whatever and stuff. It's not so rigid where you are, just you're not nervous about what's going on because they're gonna get dirty.
Right.
Because there's grass out there and they're gonna run and they're gonna play, and they're going to be able to do some stuff and see some stuff, and it's going to be cool. You know?
Awesome.
Yeah. I thank you, ladies, for having me. I appreciate this.
You're welcome.
I had
So
no
happy you
idea what
came.
I was expecting. But the gentleman opened the door and he's like, "You know what's going on?" I was like, "Yeah, actually, I don't. I really have no clue, but I'm gonna have faith that this is going. This is gonna be positive. Yeah, it's gonna be a great thing."
I didn't exactly tell him everything. I just told him we were expecting a guest. He wasn't really filled in on everything, so.
And neither was I. I was just like, I'm running down from, I'm like, okay, I got to be here. I got to be here. Yeah.
I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah. I'm like, what's going on?
But let me ask you about this.
Sure.
My sister-in-law, my other sister-in-law, I was telling her when I shared it on Facebook about us interviewing you. And she read the post, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm tuning in." She was like, "That's so exciting, a female cowgirl, and black on top of that." That's something, honestly,
I didn't even know there were such things.
I never heard that even truthfully mentioned.
Yeah.
And you rarely, I think within the last 10 years just started hearing about black cowboys.
You
That's
know
not
what?
something
And
we
you know
hear
what
about.
happened with that, right? So who was the guy the rapper who came out with the song?
Lil
Lil Nas X.
Yeah,
Lil
Lil
Nas
Nas
X.
X.
And remember then after he came out, and maybe a little bit before that, but Lil Nas X came out, and now everybody wants to be, like now we have all these black country western singers and all that other kind of stuff because
Right.
Lil Nas, and nothing wrong with Lil Nas, but kind of it. I don't
I wasn't
know.
touching that one either.
Right. I don't know if it's just a, like a thing, because
Just a phase.
right, because he started wearing Western get up, and then it started working for him, and started selling, and then he got with the Achy Breaky Heart guy,
Yep.
and then now he's Grammy Award winning and stuff like that. And he's,
But from what I heard about Lil Nas X, they said he actually, I guess, had the song, and they told him it wasn't country enough. He wanted to do a country song, and they told him it wasn't country enough. Even if, I guess it was certain things that had to be in the song to meet a certain country criteria, at least for certain people. Because for other people, if they had that same song, it would have been country enough. But for him, it was not.
Exactly.
So he ended up getting Billy Ray Cyrus on the song, because you can't get more country than Billy Ray Cyrus.
Right.
So when he got on the song with him, of course, then the song was acceptable, and then the song blew up.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden you see black cowgirls and black cowboys on Ford.
Oh.
Ford has something. I think Wrangler has them in Boot
Yeah.
Barn. Different people are now starting to have. But to go after them, to get them as sponsors, it's not that easy. It's not just to reach out to try to get them to say, okay, so those are actors. So we have real, people of color that are cowboys. And then, what was it? Concrete Cowboy came out with Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Right.
So I know you watched it for Idris Elba, but it was truly a story that's real,
Okay.
Yeah, we did see Idris.
I haven't seen it yet.
You got to look at Concrete Cowboy.
I think it's. I think I have it on some. I think I have it on save, and I got so many stuff I need to watch on there.
I know, just to sit down and breathe.
Right.
Yeah, but it like I said, it's fun. We have tailgaters. We have people that are coming from all over. I have people coming from Huntsville, Alabama, that are coming in from Louisiana, that are coming just hang out and just vibe with us.
That's
what's
so
up.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot.
We definitely will be there.
I'm gonna come.
Do you ladies have any more questions for Nicole?
I'm ready for the event. I'm trying to give you an update.
I'm ready. Just it's something simple. Just some regular old jeans and a t-shirt.
Some jeans and
That's
t-shirt.
cool. That's cool
And
too.
my cowboy
And her cowboy boots. Yeah.
And my cowgirl head. You'll be like, who this girl think she is?
Yeah, but we'll still love you. We'll love you and embrace you.
I'm that cousin.
Yeah. Thank you so much, though.
Thank you.
Okay, well, before we kind of wrap up our questions, do you want to just kind of just throw some things out there and be like, listen, come on down, this is what you're going to get, even though you said it throughout the whole interview, but just to tell them and let them know exactly where it's located.
You know what? I
everything.
appreciate that. So it is at the Wayne County Fairgrounds. The Wayne County Fairgrounds is in Belleville, and it is near the Cracker Barrel. Everybody knows where Cracker Barrel is off of 94. So it's diagonal from that. So I would give you the address. Well, I am going to give you the address. It's on Cork Road. So it's QU. IRK, and it is, nobody knows where the Wayne County Fairgrounds is, but it is in Belleville. Each one bring one, or teach one. Yep. Each one bring one to teach one. However we do it, you'll enjoy it. I promise you, you will. It's not something that's going to be all day. I'm not going to try to keep you all day. It's a time period, and then after we do that, we're done. Okay. Just come out and hang out with us, and just tell me what you think. Okay. Tell me what you think, and then hopefully we'll bring it back next year. We're already prepared for next year, bigger and better. I just thank you. I really do. It really takes a lot. It takes a village to make anything happen, and I appreciate you guys allowing me into your village, into your girl talk in no time. It was fun. It was really fun.
We appreciate this information.
And one last thing, is there any specific site or place people can go to donate if they want to donate to?
You know what? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that is one of the things that my family, friends, and everybody yells at me about, because I do a lot of donating. I do a lot of donating to not-for-profits, the American Legions. My website, you can go there, and it's www.midwest-invitational.com. Okay. Or you can just reach out and just say, because what we do is rodeo scholarships cover some things, and there's still fees that they have to pay. And so there's a couple cowboys that, I will, send something to, care packages, send them a couple dollars here and there. And that money, thank you for asking that. People who send stuff or say, Nick, I want to help this person, or I want to do this, or I want to do this, we make sure that it gets to them. We make sure that we can help out. We make sure that, even if we can give an extra ticket. I have a cousin who writes children's books, and she's COVID shy right now, but
a lot of people.
Yeah, she sent me some books, and she sent a donation, and I'm just so grateful and thankful. And then we'll have her book there, and we'll do different things. The kids from Yummy Cookies, I don't know if you guys remember them from a couple years ago, but I think they have some people here in Detroit. Okay. So a lot of times, and I know that it may not make sense to you guys, but in my heart, if you're just starting out a business, I just started. And somebody gave me a break. So if there is a donation and you want to help a business that's starting, somebody that's newly doing something. I think I got a phone call about a young lady who's starting a hair care line. And she's like, Miss Nikki, I don't really have it. And I just smiled and I said, don't tell my daughter Lindsay, and just keep it on the low, but you're in. Just come on. Just come on, please. Just don't say much. But, I mean, that kind of stuff. So anytime that you're able to, it just helps us to grow. It just goes into the pot, and it just grows, helps things grow, and just little things like, you guys giving me the opportunity to do this. I don't have a great big budget, so I couldn't go on the major radio stations and advertise. I couldn't, do a big TV ad or anything like that. But you know what? You all reach people, and you have, your followings. You have people that listen to you, and not everybody listens to regular radio stations anymore. There's XM radio, there's podcasts, there's so many things, there's social media, there's so much that, so again, thank you for the opportunity, because you all giving me this, this 500 people or 5,000 people, or, 15,000 people that I would have never been able to touch or didn't know, or, even though I asked my family to reach out and, put something out there and Facebook and all that stuff, we can't reach everybody. Right. And then one day I'll have a budget that I'll be all over, have these big billboards and, do all this stuff. And, we'll be able to do that. But then we'll be down here like Universal Soul Circus, and we'll be here a week or something like that. But right now, it's just 2 days.
That's good.
Friday and Saturday. Friday and Saturday, we'll be here.
And even though we have shared it on our podcast page, we've shared it on our personal pages too. We'll still definitely reach out to family and friends and let them know. Because I think this is an experience that everyone should experience. And I think it's something that everybody would enjoy.
And like I said, even if you don't get into the rodeo, if you don't make it to the rodeo, then you know what? Still come and just support the vendors. And then, just come and just hang out. You might see some people that you haven't seen in forever, or you might meet some new friends, or just to see something that you hadn't seen. You might pick up something on 4-H or on the, American Red Cross or something like that. You might learn something. That's what it's about. It's about exposure. My ski club, my kids ski, or I ski, and our ski club, the Jim Dandies, have been we've been around for 62 years. They have a tent. So that's an opportunity for you all to come out and say, hey, you know what? I never even knew we had a ski club. We have a very strong ski club. And then we go national. So our ski club, we go national, and we go to, let's say, Denver, Colorado. and we represent Detroit. Always represents. But anyway, but you'll get information from the ski club. You'll have different clubs, different, people that you can talk to and say, and I never thought about doing that. Because we should think about doing that. There's no reason why that you can't.
That's
try it.
For my kids, I want to expose them to different things.
Well,
so I wasn't exposed to those things, so I wasn't exposed to
But again, we talked about it. We were scared, or we also didn't have the finances, or people, kind of shamed us and like, you're so white,
black girl.
exactly.
Or your parents don't have the same vision, because I always wanted to snowboard. I've been wanting to snowboard since I was young.
Then you should come. You should, when you get there, make sure that you go to the Dandy's booth and you tell them. And then we go up several times a year, and we go here locally. And then we also have lessons. And for like $10, you pay $10 for the lesson, and then you'll rent your equipment, which is probably a couple of dollars more. And snowboarding, I'm too old to snowboard because I learned how to ski first. Okay. But boarding there, it's so much fun. They have a great time.
Yep.
And that's something that, you just try it. And we'll make sure that you have the right equipment and stuff like that, because once you're cold, you don't want to do it no more. But, yeah.
Okay. I'm old too now.
No, but I mean, we just try something. I have a cousin that plays professional football, and I was so nervous. He wanted to snowboard. And I'm like, Trey, if you hurt yourself, it's going to be a problem. Right. And so I was telling the guys on the slopes, I was like, this is my little cousin. If something happened to me, it's me and you. And they were like, yeah, okay, whatever. And now next year, our ski club is going to, I think they're going to France. And he's going with them to France. They go all over.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to be down with y'all.
They do. They go to Japan. They do all that. And they go as a group. And when you see people that look like you doing stuff that's out of control, and you know that we'll sleep 15 in a room. Right. We make sure that each one of us you need some snacks. I got some water. You want some? We do that. Yep. That's how we get down. We do that. And then we also have a DJ. We also travel with a DJ. Right. So we got to have a party. Right. So there's going to be a DJ at the rodeo, probably too. Right. And then an after party. But, it's just getting to know each other and just letting our kids get invited and see. And, the golfers. I'm trying to get midnight golfers there. Okay. How many business deals are made on the golf course?
All of them. My cousin golfs, and yep.
So if you, like my future son-in-law, he got his job not because he played football, because he was a caddy for somebody that was a booster, that knew the coach, that knew somebody, and he works for Tom Izzo. Wow. And all of it came because he was a caddy. That's the guy that carries the clubs. Yep. He wasn't even golfing. So that's the kind of things that we need to expose our children to, because if they can do it, plus they tip really well.
I want to say caddies make good money.
They make really good money, and it's all cash, Yep. So they can put up money, and then there's golfing scholarships. So that's another reason why I want to get midnight golfing out there, because there's, scholarships for somebody that look like you, that look like me, to play golf.
Yep. My niece is a veterinarian, and when she graduated from a scholarship from playing golf, like, they had a big dinner for her and everything. I'm like, you got all this from golf? And she was like, yeah. Yeah, and she probably might not even be that great of a golfer, right? No, she's not, but it was wonderful.
Right? And where did she go to
got
school?
Her degree. She went to U of M, and then I forgot the other school she went to. But she's a veterinarian right now, and I'm proud of that. She said it was only 2 people that looked like us in the whole class on the farm.
And did you say she got a scholarship?
She got a scholarship.
Yeah, so she don't have $100,000 in debt or any of that stuff. And she can make $100,000 because she's a veterinarian.
Yes, she's
and somebody
really
had
good money now.
Somebody had to expose her.
Yeah.
Somebody had to introduce her to it.
I don't know who that was. I'm trying to introduce my kids now.
Exactly, right?
Yes.
Right? It's not what you know. I mean, it's not who you know, it's what you know, or vice versa, whatever. It's
Yeah.
not what you know, it's who you know. Right. I got it.
Network.
Exactly.
It's all about who you know. Because you can learn anything. People put people in positions all the time that don't know anything, and they learn it.
Do they look like you?
No.
They don't look like me.
No.
Because we go hard every day.
Exactly.
Right, twice,
and
you 2
qualify.
jobs. Right. Yes. Sometimes more than but we won't go there. That's another topic. That's another time you guys have to invite me out and we can talk about that.
We talk about that all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
We only got a few minutes now.
Right.
We didn't have such a good time talking to you.
And what was the other topic that you guys are going to get on?
Because usually Crystal does some current events for us, and you do.
We can do that.
I was going to say you do current
Crystal,
events.
what was your current event that you were going to talk that I took too much of your time?
No, we enjoyed it. This was this is fun.
Yeah, I had it just in case we finished early, but let me actually figure out where it's at. I wasn't expecting to pull it out this fast.
Get it together.
It's okay.
She just screenshot it like I did. I kept it so I can find it fast.
Okay, no, you know what? I know what it was. It was two things I saw on the news, or social media. One was Monique. So Monique,
hair bonnets.
she made a comment about basically us women keeping it together and saying that we should, put more attention into how we look and how we carry ourselves as women. Going out with hair bonnets on, in your house shoes, in your pajamas. We've even seen people in robes, and she got a lot of backlash from it. Girl,
so tell me
I've
what you
seen
guys
it
think
all.
about that, because I am one. I'm old school, and I was raised by my grandparents. We don't go out looking like that because I work retail, and I also do a part-time job at the airport. And what we see with the you couldn't have taken off that bonnet just for 2 seconds to get to the. You don't have to travel like that when you're coming out of the house. And also, too, people look at you differently, or
they judge you,
service you differently, or judge you, or don't allow you to do something because they prejudged you.
Yes,
exactly.
That is
And
true.
we bring things onto ourselves.
Right.
You wear something that's maybe very low or very tight or very. Somebody's going to talk to you a little bit different, and you can't really say nothing to them if they call you. They should never call you out of your name, and I'm definitely not saying that that's right. But when you look a certain way, they talk to you a certain way.
Yep, they treat you a certain
You
way.
handle they treat you a certain way.
Yeah.
And then we should have some kind of pride in ourselves too. To pull it together because we're leaving the house.
That is true.
You're representing your. I don't know about you, but my family. You're representing your family.
Yes.
You're representing that family name, and so when you do that, you need to look the part. Or my family used to always tell me, "Don't come out the house looking like that."
Right.
Or especially don't come up to my job.
Looking like that.
Did you come up to my job looking like that?
Right.
That was why your mama grab her shoe and be like, "What the?" No, really.
I know. I get on my kids about that. Like, if you look like you don't have no parents, like you representing me. Like, if you don't go and do something with that head, them clothes, like, no.
Yeah, and
Like,
also
no,
too, it's a
I would say
reflection.
no.
It's not a reflection of the dad. It's a reflection of us.
Right.
When your kids look crazy,
Yeah.
who do they look at?
Mom, always.
What's the
Your
first
mama
thing
let
we
you-
say?
your mama let you out the house?
Like that?
Right.
Exactly.
And then I have to get on my kids just because we're doing homeschooling right now. Can you still comb your hair, put on some clothes? You're not going to sit in front of the computer in front of pajamas.
But also too, don't you feel different when you put yourself together? Because when you're
Yes.
wearing, and because like I said, I work retail. I work for K-Spade at the mall, and I noticed that my coworkers, they approach people different. When you look different,
When they
you
dress
look different, when you dress. Now you got a pocket full of money,
But
and
just on how you look.
and it's how you look or how they talk to you, and then
Oh, yeah.
with my background of service, I'm truly about service, and especially servicing people that look like us and letting them know we should service you. We should come. We should show you different things. We should expose you. We should take our time. We don't just clerk it. We don't just say, okay, this is what you want, and walk away. No.
Right. 'Cause
And
you
if
miss
we
your
don't,
blessing, you
right.
don't
And if
know.
we don't have it, have them order it. I tell my kids, have them order it. You go to a restaurant, you see something on the menu, and let's say they might be a veal marsala or a veal something like that. Well, if they have chicken and they have ask them, can they make it? Because they would do it for somebody else that don't. We need to be assertive, and not in a bad way, but why is it that you're an angry black woman, or you're over aggressive, or me, I'm a bitch, excuse my language, but
Right.
but I'm just owning my stuff. This is my name on it. I'm writing a check for it. Why do I have to be something different than a businesswoman?
Right.
And we have to teach our kids that. But it's also, you don't see Kamala walking around with a do-rag on her head or this, that, and the other. She comes out and she has it together.
Yes.
And when they talk to her, Madam Vice President,
Exactly. Yeah.
and that's how we should ask. But you can't demand somebody to talk to you a certain way if you don't look a certain way. And it's not
right.
being whitewashed, or it's not selling out or whatever. It's having some pride, having some pride in who you are and from whom you are,
Right.
Like your mother said, or you tell your kids, you don't homeschool or no homeschool, you still shouldn't look like that.
Get up, take a shower,
you
wash your
gotta
face,
get
brush your
dressed.
teeth, comb your hair, put some clothes on, and sit in front of the computer.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing changed.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And then we get lazy.
Yeah.
People are wearing, sweat clothes and stuff like
They
that.
tried it. They tried it.
I did it.
They tried
No,
it.
I'm sorry, I did it. I can't wear my regular clothes.
Exactly. I had a heel on the other day, and I'm so used to wearing flip-flops. I wear flip-flops all the time, those Birkenstocks. Now I tried to put on a heel the other day, and I can only wear it for like an hour, if that, because my feet were, because I was just so comfortable, I'm wearing gym shoes more often than I ever have.
Yep.
I'm not a gym shoe girl, and now, but everything is so comfortable and so laid back, and then jeans that I thought I could fit because of, chilling. Yeah, you don't. It ain't,
Yes.
Well, we really enjoyed you. We are out of time. It
Okay,
went by
I
really
appreciate
fast.
it. It
'cause we
did. It
enjoyed
really
you
did.
So much.
Thank you so much.
Everybody, Midwest Invitational Rodeo.
That's it.
We'd
Thank
like
you
to
so
thank
much.
you, Nicole, for coming.
Thank
And
you
next
for
time you
having
come
me.
back, we would love to have you on again.
I would love to. We had a good time. This was good. We talked about it.
Appreciate
It would be old school versus the young. You guys can teach me about the Instagram and the
I don't know nothing about that.
so all the
We're
social
not
media.
that young. You want for that.
I was
We're not that young, so we couldn't tell you anything.
You guys can
We
teach me
70s
a few
babies.
things. You guys have to teach me a few things: how to act, how to do, what not to do.
We'll try.
Get you together.
You might be in trouble.
Right. You
with
talking to
us.
Janice.
Right, she's the baby out of the group.
Yeah, she said she's gonna get me together.
Yeah, she gonna
there
get
you
you
go.
together.
She don't even be on this.
I know. I'm old, so.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Any
Thank
final,
you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Any final words, ladies, that you want to put out into the atmosphere before we go?
No, other than just make sure you guys get out to this rodeo. It will be awesome. Bring your family and just come out for a fun time.
Come support.
Yep. June 11th and 12th, Wayne County Fairgrounds. Until next time, be safe.
See you later.
Make a move, make it matter. Forget the rest.
That was fun.
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.